Okay, so get ready, because today we're diving into some serious World of Warcraft drama.
Oh, yeah, buckle up.
I love drama. It's juicy.
Yeah.
So we're talking about this guild Genesis
Okay.
on the Kazakh server,
Uh-huh.
and they're all Hebrew-speaking,
Interesting.
which we'll get into later, all the cultural stuff.
Yeah.
But first of all, these guys, they're trying to, conquer the wrath of the Lich King like everyone else was back in the day.
Right.
And they're doing okay.
Yeah.
They've cleared, 7 out of 8 bosses
7 out of 8, not bad.
in Naxxramas.
It's the first big raid.
Yeah,
So, yeah, 7 out of 8's pretty good.
yeah. But there's a problem.
Okay, what's the problem?
They have a tanking problem,
Oh.
and it's a big one.
Oh, a tanking problem. Is it just one tank, or is it like their whole tanking?
Well, we'll get into the specifics.
Okay, all right.
But essentially, their tanks are not good.
Okay.
And that's a problem. Because in World of Warcraft, a tank is like the most important
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
role, arguably, in a raid.
Yeah, I mean, especially back in Wrath. I mean, the tank was like the quarterback.
Yeah.
They're the one leading the charge, holding aggro.
Yeah, you got to hold that aggro.
Keeping all the monsters, focused on them so the DPS can do their job.
So explain that to someone who maybe hasn't played World of Warcraft or hasn't played at a high level. What does it mean to hold aggro, and why is it so important?
So basically think of it like a spotlight.
Yeah.
The tank is the spotlight, and all the monsters are like moths drawn to the light.
Right.
The tank's job is to keep that spotlight on them the whole time.
Right. So if they're not holding aggro, those moths are going to scatter and just start chomping on the rest of the raid.
Yeah, they're going to go for the squishier targets, the healers, the DPS.
And then you wipe.
And nobody wants to wipe.
No one wants to wipe.
That's like the worst feeling in the world.
It's like the ultimate failure.
Especially when you're so close to killing a boss,
Yep.
and then the tank loses aggro and everybody just explodes.
So Genesis, they're having this issue. They can't quite get past, the 7 out of 8 bosses because the tanks are just not holding up their end of the bargain.
Gotcha.
So that brings us to this guy named Niv.
Okay, Niv.
Niv is apparently like
I'd heard this name.
the best tank in Israel.
Oh, wow. The best tank in Israel. So he's like the Israeli tank god?
Yeah.
Right.
So potentially he could be the solution to all of Genesis's problems.
Yeah. Right. You bring in the tank god to fix everything.
Oh, great. But there's a catch.
There's always a catch.
There's always a catch in World of Warcraft drama.
Oh, yeah. Drama is fueled by catches.
So Niv and Groda, the guild leader,
Mm-hmm.
have some history.
Oh, so there's some bad blood there.
Some bad blood.
Okay.
We don't know exactly what went down,
Did you see?
but it was enough that Groda is hesitant
Yeah.
to bring Niv into the guild.
That's interesting because, I mean, if there's 7 out of 8 and this guy's supposed to be the best, why wouldn't you bring him in?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question.
Yeah.
You would think that if you're serious about, progressing
Right.
and being the best,
Yeah.
you would just swallow your pride and bring in the guy who can help you achieve that.
Right, because, I mean, ultimately, I think for a lot of these top guilds, it's all about progression.
Yeah.
It's about clearing the content before everybody else.
It's the glory of being the first.
It is. There's definitely like a prestige factor to it.
Yeah.
But I think there's got to be something more to this story.
Yeah.
Like, why is Groda so hesitant?
Yeah, well, I mean,
You said they had some history, but, like, how bad could it have been?
I think it's, part of it's probably ego,
Oh, yeah, definitely. Ego's got to play a part in it,
you know?
especially in World of Warcraft.
You're the guild leader. You're used to calling the shots.
Right. You're the one making the decisions.
And then to bring in this guy who you maybe have a personality clash with,
Yeah.
it might disrupt the flow of the guild.
Right. And, I mean, from Groda's perspective, he's probably thinking, like, I've built this guild.
Yeah.
I've gotten us to this point.
7 out of 8.
We're doing pretty well. Why do we need to bring in this outsider who could potentially, rock the boat?
Yeah, and, Groda has explicitly said
Oh, right.
that he's terrified of becoming a World 1000 guild,
Oh, wow. World 1000.
which
So not even in the top 1000.
not even close to the top.
So that's pretty far down.
It is, and I think for him,
Yeah.
that would be a failure.
Yeah. I mean, especially for a guild leader who's, put so much time and effort into building their guild.
Yeah.
I mean, getting to World 1000, that's got to sting a little bit.
Yeah, because it's not just about, personal pride.
Right.
I mean, there are real implications in the World of Warcraft community for your guild ranking.
Yeah. I mean, for one thing, the higher ranked you are, the more you attract really good players.
Oh, yeah. Everyone wants to be in a top guild.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to play with the best.
And I imagine you probably get more sponsorship opportunities.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, back in the day, there were guilds getting sponsored by, like, energy drink companies.
Yeah.
You know, computer hardware companies. It was a big deal.
So if you drop to World 1000, you're probably losing out on some of those opportunities.
Definitely.
So Groda, he's got a tough decision to make.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
Because on the one hand, he needs to improve.
Right.
On the other hand, bringing in Niv could potentially
backfire.
Make things even worse.
It's like a gamble.
Yeah.
Do you stick with what you know, or do you take a chance on this, you know, potential superstar?
And the thing is, it's not just Groda and Niv who are involved in all of this.
Right.
You've got the rest of the guild.
The other players.
You've got the other top raiders.
Yeah.
Like Nir Edo Tal.
These are all big names in the Israeli WoW scene, I'm guessing.
Yeah. How are they reacting to all of this?
Yeah.
Are they siding with Groda? Are they...
Right. Are they Team Groda or Team Niv?
Team Niv.
Yeah. Where do their loyalties lie?
We don't know.
Ooh, this is getting good.
We don't know.
I need to know more.
And that's part of what makes it so interesting, because you can imagine the discussions.
Oh, yeah. The guild chat must be blowing up.
That are happening behind the scenes.
I bet.
You know, are they trying to convince Groda to bring Niv in? Or are they, you know, saying, no, Niv's a bad egg. He's going to...
Yeah, he's going to ruin our guild.
Ruin the guild.
Ruin our vibe.
And then there's Edo.
Okay, Edo.
Who's their key healer.
Okay, so the healer's important.
Super important.
Yeah, they're the ones keeping everybody alive.
Yeah. And with the current tanking situation.
Right.
Edo's job is even harder.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
I mean, if the tanks aren't holding aggro properly, the raid's taking more damage.
Which means Edo's got to heal more.
Right, and that puts a lot of pressure on the healer.
Yeah.
I mean, they're constantly having to, you know, make split-second decisions about who to heal, who to prioritize.
Who to let die.
Ooh, that's a tough choice.
Sometimes you got to make those choices.
Yeah, sometimes you got to triage it out.
So Edo is in a really tough spot.
Yeah.
And I'm curious how he feels about this whole Niv situation.
Yeah.
Because if they bring Niv in, it's going to make his life easier.
Yeah, it'll definitely lighten the load on the healers.
But it could also change the dynamic of the guild.
Right.
And we haven't even gotten to the Israeli aspect of all of this.
The Israeli aspect.
So Genesis is made up entirely of Israeli players.
Okay.
And they only speak Hebrew.
So like in guild chat, everything's in Hebrew.
In guild chat and voice comms.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Everything is in Hebrew.
Yeah.
Which I imagine creates a really unique dynamic.
I bet it does.
You know, they have this shared cultural background, shared experiences.
Shared language.
Shared language.
It creates a bond that you don't really see in a lot of other guilds.
Yeah.
Most of the guilds are pretty international.
Yeah.
You got people from all over the world.
But Genesis is like this little pocket of Israel.
Yeah, it's like a little enclave.
In the World of Warcraft universe.
That's so cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
But it also makes me wonder
how
they interact with the rest of the World of Warcraft community.
Right, because, I mean, World of Warcraft is predominantly English-speaking.
Yeah.
So how do they navigate that?
Yeah, do they ever feel like they're kind of on the outside looking in? Are they able to bridge that gap?
Yeah, are they able to integrate with the wider community?
Yeah.
Or do they kind of stick to themselves?
These are all questions that we don't have the answers to.
Right.
Unfortunately.
We need some Genesis insiders.
We need some whistleblowers to come forward and
spill the tea.
Spill the tea.
Give us the inside scoop.
But what we do know is that this is a guild.
Yeah.
That is facing a really crucial moment.
Right.
They're at a crossroads.
They got to make a decision.
Do they stick with what they know?
Yeah.
And risk falling behind?
Right.
Or do they bring in this potential savior?
Yeah.
Who could also potentially destroy everything?
It's a high-stakes decision.
Yeah.
High risk, high reward.
So just to recap.
Okay, let's recap.
We've got Genesis, this Israeli guild, with big dreams.
Big dreams, big drama.
They've got a tanking problem.
The classic WoW problem.
The classic WoW problem.
Yeah.
They've got this guy, Niv.
The Israeli tank god.
Who could be their solution.
Yeah.
But there's bad blood between him and Groda.
Always bad blood.
The guild leader.
guild drama is the best drama.
And the rest of the guild is caught in the middle.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place.
All of this is happening within this really unique cultural context that we don't fully understand.
The Israeli WoW scene, a mystery wrapped in an enigma.
Exactly.
Love it.
So the question is, will Genesis overcome all of these challenges and reach the top?
Yeah.
Or will they crumble under the pressure?
Or will they implode?